Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Numerics with Nadia. In today's video, we're going to go off of what we did in our last video on the metric system conversions. If you haven't watched that one, definitely go watch that one first. But this time we're going to go over imperial system conversions. So first off in our lesson, we're going to define what imperial system conversions are, and we're going to do two types of examples for conversions. We're going to do distance-based examples, and then volume and capacity-based examples. And then as always, we will also get into a few practice problems. So to start out, what is the imperial system? The imperial system of measurement, defined in the UK, is used in the US, and it uses units like feet, inches, pounds, tons, yards, and other terms that we'll get into later in the video once we go through our examples. But now that we've defined what the imperial system is and where it's used, let's start going through our unit conversions, and we're splitting this up into two categories, distance and volume or capacity. But for now, let's start with distance. So some of the terms that we're going to see for distance are miles, the abbreviation being MI, yards, which abbreviation is YD, feet, and that abbreviation is FT, and inches, and the inches abbreviation is IN. So these are all the terms that we're going to see for distance. And as you see in the pyramid on the right, miles are our biggest units, then yards, then feet, and inches are our smallest units. And I'm going to write our little conversion rates here. So 1 foot equals 12 inches. 1 yard equals 3 feet. And since miles is our biggest unit, we're going to have two conversions here. 1 mile is 5,280 feet, but I'll also have the yards conversion. 1 mile is also 1,760 yards. So now that we've done these conversion rates, let's try a practice problem just to understand what's going on here. Let's say that we're starting off with 12 feet, and we want to convert this to some amount of inches. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with what we're given, the 25 feet, and we're going from feet to inches. So we're going to write our conversion in. We know that 12 inches is 1 feet. If I have my feet diagonal from each other, they will cancel out, and then I'll end up with inches in the end, which is what we were looking for. But that means that we have to do 25 times 12. And when we do 25 times 12, we get 300. So we know that 25 feet would equal 300 inches. Once we do the calculation and once we cross cancel our units, we get 300 inches. Now we'll do the capacity part of our lesson for today. So in this part, we're going to go over the conversions of cups, pints, quarts, and gallons. So they are as follows. There are 2 cups in every pint, and the diagram on the right-hand side shows us as well, all these conversions. There is 2 pints in every quart, and the other conversion for 1 quart is that there is 4 cups. Why? Because 1 quart is 2 pints, and 2 pints, that would be 4 cups, right? Now to add on, we're going up to gallons. 1 gallon is 4 quarts, and if it's 4 quarts, then that means that it would be 8 pints, and that means that it would have 16 cups. So depending on what you're given, you can use any of these conversions to help you in a practice problem. So for our practice problem here, let's say that we have 16 quarts and we want to go towards gallons. Well, we have to do the conversion that takes us from quarts to gallons. So we start with what we're given. We're given 16 quarts. The conversion is that every 1 gallon has 4 quarts. I will write the 4 quarts on the bottom so we can cross cancel the units. And when we do that, we know, okay, well, we're just doing 16 divided by 4, and we know that 16 divided by 4 is just 4. So we get 4 gallons for our answer for this practice problem. And now we'll do practice on both types of conversions. And since we already did some practice problems under the topics themselves, we'll just do a few more on distance and a few more on capacity type questions. So the directions here say to convert the following, and I'm writing the conversions that we've learned and gone over on the side here just so we can look at them and refer to them when we solve the problem. It's always good practice to review and repeat these conversions just so we can memorize them a little bit easier. So 1 yard is equivalent to 3 feet. Every foot is 12 inches. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. It also equals 8 pints, and it also equals 16 cups. And those are the main conversions we're going to be working with today. So starting off with our first practice problems, we have 6 pints, and we're trying to go from pints to gallons. So we're going to start with what we're given, 6 pints. And we want to go from pints to gallons, so we know that there are 8 pints in every 1 gallon, right? So that's the conversion we're going to fill in. We're going to put it on the denominator so we can cancel out those units. And when we do that, we're just left with a fraction, right? We're left with 6/8. Now we can go through here and reduce that and simplify this fraction. If we divide the top and bottom by 2, well, then we end up with 3/4 gallons. Or another way to refer to that is 0.75 gallons. That is converting the fraction to a decimal, and we also reduced a fraction. So if you guys haven't watched those videos, I will tag them here for you. Definitely check them out because as I've referred to before, math is cumulative and topics like these always come back. So now that we've done number 1, we'll move on to number 2. This one is a little bit different. We're starting with 36 yards and we want to go to feet, right? So 36 yards, well, we know that there are 3 feet in every yard. We'll go through there and fill in our conversion rate. We're going to have the yards on the bottom so we can cross cancel our units. We have to do 36 times 3 on the side here, and when we do that, we get 108. So 108 feet would be our answer for number 2. So now that we've done our first 2, we're going to do 2 more practice problems. We'll do another distance one and another capacity one. And for number 3, we have 92 inches, and we want to go from inches to yards. So there is no direct conversion here for us to use. So we're going to use 2 conversions. We're going to start with the 92 inches, and we know that there are 12 inches in every 1 foot, right? So we'll start there. But we're not going to get to our end goal yet because we want to end up with yards. But we know that there are 3 feet in every 1 yard. So now we'll add this conversion in as well. And when we do this, we'll see that, okay, our inches units are going to cancel out. Our feet are going to cancel out as well. And we're left with yards, and that is exactly what we want. So now looking back, we have 92 in our numerator, and then we have 12 times 3 in our denominator. So we can rewrite that and then go through and simplify and solve. So we know that 12 times 3, well, that's 36, right? So we have a fraction, 92 over 36, that we need to simplify now. 92 and 36, the greatest common factor here is 4 for both of them. So when I divide 92 by 4, I end up getting 23, and 36 divided by 4 gives us 9. So now we're going to change this improper fraction into a mixed number, and when we do that, we go from 23 nines to 2 5 nines, and that would be our answer for number 3, 2 5 nines yards. Now we'll move on to our last practice problem for today. For number 4, we have 28 cups, and we're going from cups to gallons here. So this one is just a direct conversion. We start with our 28 cups, and we know that every 1 gallon has 16 cups, right? So we'll write our conversion in. We'll have the cups on the denominator so our units can cross cancel. So when we multiply across, we end up getting 28 over 16. And this is, again, just a fraction that we need to simplify. So when we look at the 28 over 16, we see that the greatest common factor here is 4. So when I divide by 4 top and bottom, I get 7/4, and if we convert that improper fraction into a mixed number, we get 1 3/4. So 1 3/4 would be our answer to number 4, our last practice problem. All right, you guys, that is it for today's lesson. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment any questions you have down below or any other topics you'd like for me to do a video on. Feel free to like the video if you enjoyed it, share this video with a friend, and I will see you guys next time.